Another stereotypic behavior that we will be learning about in this week's lecture is stereotypic pawing. So what exactly is pawing? Pawing is a locomotor equine stereotypic behavior in which a horse drags its hoof across the ground or motions in the air in a repetitive motion. This can be kind of confusing because pawing is a normal behavior. The main difference between stereotypic pawing and natural pawing is that stereotypic pawing occurs in an excessive manner. Researchers and veterinarians have many different hypotheses about the potential causes of pawing. The first hypothesis is that it is the result of frustration. This can be frustration at being confined to a stall for a long period of time, or frustration due to a lack of attention. Another hypothesis is that pawing is caused by anticipation of a certain event. Typically, this is anticipation of feeding time. Finally, the last hypothesis is that pawing is a coping mechanism. Much like cribbing, pawing can be a sign that a horse is in pain, and it may be their way of coping with that pain. There are many health implications associated with pawing. The first is the unusual wear of the hoof or horseshoe resulting from the repetitive dragging of the foot across the ground. Similarly, fatigue may be caused by the repetitive nature of the behavior. Another health implication is the risk of injury that the horse experiences when pawing. A horse pawing near a sharp object may cut itself, causing serious injury. Finally, one health implication of a pawing horse is a symptom of an underlying issue. For example, horses with gastric ulcers may be pawing because they are in pain from gastric ulceration. As a result, gastric ulceration should be treated in order to reduce pawing. There are many management practices that can be used to discourage a horse from pawing. The first practice is to increase turnout frequency. Increasing turnout frequency reduces confinement in the stall and decreases the frustration that the horse may experience as a result of being confined. This in turn can decrease the amount that the horse paws. Another way to discourage pawing is to avoid reinforcing the behavior. Feeding a horse who is anticipating feeding time by pawing rewards the horse for pawing. Avoiding doing so can help discourage the horse from pawing. Another way to discourage horses from pawing is to alter floor surfaces. Hard surfaces such as concrete make it uncomfortable for a horse to paw, therefore decreasing the behavior. There are a few treatment options for pawing. The first is the use of differential reinforcement of other behavior. This is a kind of positive reinforcement in which the horse is rewarded for good behaviors, such as standing still, instead of being punished for bad behaviors, such as pawing. As the horse is rewarded for good behaviors, it slowly begins to decrease the amount of times that it performs bad behaviors. Eventually, a horse who is rewarded for standing still will stop pawing. Another way to help reduce pawing is to treat underlying health issues. A horse who is pawing because it is in pain from gastric ulceration may be treated with Gastrogard, an oral paste that is used to treat equine ulcers, may in turn reduce the amount that the horse paws.